Good morning, everybody. I hope we're having an awesome weekend. It's already been a little bit of a busy weekend for me because I've already been live once today. I was on
Wow, three
earlier.
times in one day. That's a lot.
Yeah, and then tomorrow as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I did not intend to have a busy weekend, but I'm having a busy weekend and it's going to be a lot of fun. Uh, I have my awesome friend Stephanie, who has been a little bit MIA recently because she's
Yep.
gone on a cruise, and
Yeah. Yeah.
the timing of the cruise meant that she missed like 2 weeks of everything. But
Yeah.
Stephanie, tell us for the like one person who may not know who you are.
Oh, thank you, Russ. I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know who I am, but hi there. I'm Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches, also of Together We Sew Quilting, and I have a YouTube channel and I host retreats. And I met Russ through all of those things, and we have become good friends. And I'm excited to be here with him today because we have not seen each other in forever, it seems like.
Yeah, I was saying that before we did the live, like started the live,
Mhm.
that with your um cruise that you
Travels.
just went on.
Yeah.
And normally you're on Sewing with Stephanie and Steven, but you had to miss a couple of those because you had appointments and that. So
Yep.
yeah, it's like I haven't had a chance to just chit chat with you in a hot minute.
I know. The week before I went on the cruise, I had appointments and then I was on the cruise. And then this week I was teaching a workshop and had a trunk show at a guild. So I have not been on there in at least 3 weeks. So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've
So
made it here, and
yes,
yeah, we are going
glad to be
to have
back.
a lot of fun. We
Yeah.
are on month 10 of Bumbleberry Pie,
Uh-huh.
which means we have this block and one more set of blocks. Then we put it all together.
Yay. I'm
And
so excited.
spoiler alert, this might be the first block of the month that I've actually completed.
Ooh. Yay.
I have purchased many. This might actually be
Ah,
the first one I've started as well.
nice. Nice.
That's what happens when you are sewing with friends is you oh yeah, I was gonna say wait, the socialites, but that was a block of the week. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't count. But yeah, if you're
No. Yeah,
sewing
we
with
did finish
friends,
that one though, didn't we? We both finished that one.
yeah, we did finish that one. And if you're sewing with
Yeah.
friends, things go a lot better.
It
Somebody
motivates
helps
you
keep
to
you
get
accountable.
done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited and I'm loving these fabrics. A couple weeks ago, the Soya crew was over in South Carolina at the Lewis and Irene factory, and they were giving sales on the Bumbleberry fabric. And there's like three 108s that they had with the
Oh,
Bumbleberries. And I was like, I researched, I couldn't find any 108s anywhere.
I didn't know
So
they made 108s in Bumbleberry. That's
I didn't
awesome.
either. Thankfully,
Did
they didn't have they did not have the 108 in the color that I wanted the 108 in, so that's
Mm.
fine. So let's see who we have in the chat this morning. Good morning, Julie, who was firsties, and I will probably be seeing you this afternoon over on Stephanie's channel as we
Yep.
work on dragon fruit, whichever month we're on for that. Good morning, Carl and Sue. I'm sure Carl's asking, where's your blue? Do you still have blue in
Oh,
your hair?
the blue's all gone. It came out of my hair with all the ocean time, I think, and pool time and all that stuff. So,
Stephen is here. Good morning, Stephen.
hi, Steven.
Um, yeah, Stephen, I broke this 3D printer again.
Uh-oh.
It got I I know it's user error, but the nozzle got clogged last week, so
Mhm.
like there's a whole bunch that got clogged. So I managed to get all of that resolved yesterday finally because I also broke a bolt. And I did a small test print yesterday and it was fine. And I was stupid and told it to do a larger print. And I woke up with spaghetti all on the print head. So I have
Oh,
to figure out how to
no.
get the print head cleaned off. If not, I might just have to chisel it out and replace it. But
Yeah.
luckily, it's all modular. And I've taken it apart and put it back together like 9 times in the what is it, 2.5 months that I've had it.
Uh-huh.
So I know how to take it apart, how to put it back together. I'm not concerned about that.
Well, that's
It,
good. That's half the
it
battle,
was just
right?
frustrating to wake up this morning and just see a big giant pile of spaghetti
Oh.
attached to the print head. I'm like, I don't have to deal with this today. I'm not
Uh,
dealing with it tomorrow. Uh, I'll get it done.
yep.
Ingrid is here. Good morning, Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid.
Ingrid told me yesterday that she watched the short that I published the other day with Riley singing.
Yeah, that was
And
so
George was
cute.
like, "Who's that? Do I have a new friend?"
Aw.
We have Dubraka here, Faith, and Charlotte. So we got a good crew going on right now this morning.
Yeah.
Always tend to get a good crew with anything that we're doing block of the month because everybody just loves all the chit chatty.
Yep.
Okay, let me see if I can get my camera changed because figuring all of this out was fun that I can do that.
Very good.
And I have pieces all over the place because this is a really funky block. And I say funky in the kindest terms. It's almost like the Transformers logo.
It kind of is, yeah.
I just realized that it looks like the Transformers logo.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a whole bunch of half square triangles and a whole bunch of just triangle units
Yeah.
to make those shapes. And uh, because I had swapped colors in last month accidentally, uh, which now that I'm thinking about it, it would have just been smart if I had ripped up last month and used the purple in this month,
For
but
this month, yeah.
that would have meant ripping, and I was like, I don't feel like doing
I
all
don't
of
want
that.
to do that. I get it.
So I had thought about replacing the purple this month with the blue that should have been last month,
Uh-huh.
but because of all the blue that's in this block, I'm like, no, I'm just going to leave the purple. It'll be fine.
And
Hopefully, I
purple's
have
your
enough
favorite
fabric.
color, so it works.
Hopefully, I'll have enough fabric.
Yeah.
And considering next month is the last cutting of the colors we should have to do,
Hmm.
I will know in a couple weeks if I have enough fabric. You,
Oh.
oh,
Oh, Carl said he would get it back in my hair at retreat, the blue. And Steven said, spaghetti happens with my new printer. It's poop. Oh no. So not
yeah.
sure which is worse.
I'm not sure which is worse. Yeah,
Uh,
the
so
spaghetti I would have been fine with, but the fact
yeah.
that it's all stuck onto the nozzle, I'm like, this is going to be hard to, well, it's not going to be hard to figure out. I'm just going to have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
So are we going to get a video on this retreat?
On the cruise?
On this cruise that you just went on?
No, actually, because this one was just like kind of my vacation. So I, believe it or not, didn't take any video. Except for I did record Rob Appel and Mark, the quilting marine, and Andrew, the combat quilter. They did a question and answer on the ship.
Uh-huh.
That's the only thing I recorded. Everything else, I just took some pictures, but yeah, this was kind of my vacation, so I didn't really do anything. I didn't have internet. You know, didn't get the Wi-Fi on the ship, so I just like chilled, which was really nice because I really needed it because I've got some stuff, personal stuff going on with my family.
Yeah.
And so it was really nice to just kind of forget everything. And I didn't hear any news. I didn't hear anything for a week. So that was kind of a nice thing. So I won't have video this time. We'll talk a little bit more about that tonight on my channel, live at 5. Russ will be on, and we're going to be doing Dragon Fruit Block of the Month. But yeah, it was kind of nice to just be unplugged, to be honest with you. It was nice not to have to carry your phone everywhere. So
I I'm half looking forward to that when I'm in Massachusetts.
yeah,
I mean, I'm still gonna have to be plugged into, my phone and all that other stuff,
yeah,
but I'm actually going to get a chance to unplug from work this time. This is going to be the first
nice.
since. I don't remember when, where I was like, I don't have to uh, worry about anything with work because the stuff that we are primarily responsible for has been in the process of winding down, and we are
Uh-huh.
winding up with um, a different type of customer support with our groups just to make sure
Uh-huh.
our groups are getting what they want. But they can live without me for that for, a week and a half. So
That's really nice because I know you've been on retreat with me a few times and you were like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have to work or I'm gonna have to take calls. And so that's nice that you don't have to worry about that this time.
yeah, it's gonna feel weird that I can bring just my personal laptop to my sister's and not have to bring my work laptop. Because
Yeah.
I still have to bring something because I'm upgrading some of her network stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I need something to bring. And she doesn't have a home computer. Well, no, she does, but just in case she doesn't have any of the tools on it that I want, I don't want to have to install anything on her machine and
Oh,
then
okay,
say
got
I
it.
got to uninstall it.
Right.
Good morning, Joydy.
Good morning. So yeah, it's been fun and busy, crazy the last couple weeks. I feel very out of touch with all my friends and everyone, so I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, I had forgotten when you were heading onto the boat and stuff, and I was like, when? So I tried to research, and they had already taken down the dates from Stitch in Heaven's website. And I was like, well, that's
Oh yeah.
too quick. I mean, I understand why you would want to take down the dates because if somebody's thinking last minute of, trying to catch the 7,000 people coming off the boat for one person.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I get why they would have done things like that. And I was like, let me see if I can figure it out. And I was just like, well, she's on her cruise. And when I text somebody, I don't expect a response immediately and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And if something needs a response, that's when I call
Yeah.
or, text like 3 or 4 times, say, did you see this? But I was like, you probably didn't see it because you were on a boat.
Right. And then it took 2 days to get home, so that's a whole nother story that we'll talk about tonight.
You
But
have not been having good luck getting home from places.
no, no, I have not. So, but as I'm sure you're well aware of, all those storms that went across the South, that's what affected.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I did not sleep last week because I was little concerned trying to like because the month before I lost power
yeah.
and my brain was all, well, what's going to happen if you lose power? What's going to happen if you lose power?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need to be thinking about that. I want to adjust the seams on these blocks, seeing how they're going to nest. But we didn't lose power.
Good.
Um, we do have, or we have some homeless wasps in the neighborhood because their nest showed up in my backyard.
Oh, no.
And
That's not good.
well, hopefully they just went with the storm somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, but you want to
Uh,
leave it back there and have one of your animals get into it.
yeah, I mean it was a small one, so
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a deal. And of all this, 700 windstorms that we've had,
Hmm.
this is the first time my grill got knocked over.
Oh. Now, did you get any of like the tornado activity in your area or?
Uh, direct close to me? I don't think so, but somebody claimed out, I think it was in Paulding County, which is the next county over,
Uh-huh.
which would be where Mark the Quilting Marine lives, that area,
Okay.
that there was one confirmed EF2,
Oh, okay.
but that was just a Facebook post, and I didn't research the sources of that.
Got it.
Because I am learning that even though something's on Facebook, it's still not true half the time.
Yeah.
One of the channels that I watched yesterday, they were talking about um, AI generated recipes.
Oh,
And how basically, Facebook isn't going to do anything about them because Facebook is halfway encouraging them.
oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, and I'm like, but how are people supposed to start trusting things if there's going to be all of these AI generated stuff that nobody knows is AI generated?
Right. And some of that AI stuff looks so real.
I
Sometimes it's
know that
really hard to tell.
that was part of the conversation too, is
Yeah.
you okay, I'm trying to make sure that I have things pointing the right direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't easily tell. And with a recipe, unless you are an expert in cooking,
Hmm.
you don't know if something is real or fake. And when you try it and fail, you don't know if it's because the recipe was bad or whether it was you were bad.
Right.
And I think that's more frustrating because if you are a new person to cooking and you do something that you later find out or that you didn't know was bad, you're like, well, I did it like the thing said, I must be bad at cooking.
So I guess our only clue is if they say to put arsenic in the food, not to do it. Hi, Jeannie and Joyce and Tasha and
And
Brian. Welcome.
Brian, yeah, I was about to get to them.
Yeah. I figured you were concentrating on your the way your directions your fabric were going.
Yeah, the I am not a fan of partial triangles like this,
Yeah.
but I will get them done. We got an email last night from one of our local quilt shops.
Mhm.
They are doing their annual porch party again.
Oh.
And so I sent a message to the shop owner and said, am I allowed to put Downton Tabby in there? And she goes, I don't see why not. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be putting Downton Tabby in
Oh, very cool. And when will that be?
May 3rd, I think.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, May 3rd. They seem to be getting later and later, and I'm sure it's because she's uh, thinking about it slightly later and later.
Mhm. Tasha said, I've seen people in some of my Facebook groups getting scammed by AI quilt patterns too. After they buy it, they realize it's garbage and it's too late. Yeah, not only that, but I've seen where they're using AI programs to like rip off pictures of other pattern designers' quilts and act
Or
like they're
even
selling them.
people who have made quilts,
Yes.
because that happened to me. And why is this not adding up? Ugh. Did I cut some of these the wrong size? This had to have been cut the wrong size. Where'd my seam ripper go? Where'd my seam ripper go? Yeah, I think I cut something the wrong size because this is right. Da, 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 da. So yeah, I think I shared with you that my um socialites quilt got stolen last year by one of those Facebook groups
Yes, I remember you saying that. Yep.
trying to
I was
net.
like, is this new news? What? It got stolen. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that crazy that they do that?
I'm like, if you're gonna take a picture of me, at least Photoshop me to be a few pounds skinnier. Tasha says, as somebody who has written a quilt pattern that took her forever, that would send her into the rage. Yeah.
Yep,
I
I
mean,
hear
Stephanie
you.
writes patterns and
Yeah, I actually edited up the other day because I didn't number them when I first did them. And when I was doing my trunk show on Wednesday, I took a lot of the quilts that I've done, my designs, and that was not even half of them. So I have between 50 and 60 patterns. And they are hard work. So to see somebody rip that off, is really frustrating.
okay, I have cut really wrong.
Oh,
These are all the wrong size.
uh-oh. Those aren't the ones left over from last week, are they?
No,
Or
they are
last month?
not, but I cut them half an inch too short.
Oh no.
And I'm trying to see if I even, no, all of these are wrong. Um, all of these are wrong. So I am going to quickly cut some that are the correct size
Yeah.
behind you. So
And now you know why I'm not working on this today because with my week, there's no way I could have concentrated and mine would have been all wrong too. So I was telling Russ before we started today that um I had sort of a rough week, and I'll talk about that later on my channel, but that I was gonna just do mindless sewing. So I'm just making these little 9 patches because I don't have to think about it. It's a good thing because it sounds like this month's Bumbleberry has to be precise. So
it's because there's a 7/8.
yeah, yeah. Which 7/8, yuck. Steven said, with that many patterns, Stephanie, you should compile a book or two of them. I would love to do that, and I need to. And part of the reason that stopped me, Steven, is because I feel like to do a book, I should go back and revise some of my earlier patterns because they're not great. Um, just because I was learning, right, on how to use EQ8 and all the things. And then take really good pictures or have somebody else take them because I'm not great at taking pictures of those quilts. So there's like a real picture of the quilt. So someday, yeah, it might take me a little bit, but yeah, someday I would like to do that. I could definitely start with like the newer patterns and like have that as book one. So, because I have all the quilts still and from the newer stuff, and I feel like those patterns are a little bit better than my older patterns. So, Hi, Janice. Tasha said I don't believe in eights. Me either. Eights and scant quarter inch. I don't believe in either of those things.
Yeah, that I know what I did. I just had my ruler upside down and I was just counting from the wrong direction.
Oh,
Okay. Now if I could just figure out where I was.
that's the
Uh,
tricky part.
okay. That is this one, and it goes like this, and
Oh, there,
that's
that's a good
still not
idea.
right.
Oh, that's a good idea, Brian. He said my second book could be my vintage patterns, my originals. Good idea.
Okay, time to reread the instructions.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it says, oh, wait, did I do that wrong? That's what I did wrong. My half square triangles are too big.
Oh, okay.
I printed out the 3.5 inch finished, not the 3.5 inch unfinished.
Well, that's easier problem because you can just trim them down.
Yes. And then now I have all this extra. Okay. Ah, this is what happens when you are like half rushing to get things prepared.
Yep. Tasha said, I just got a glimpse of a quilting tattoo, Rust. Can I see it?
That, that one.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out which way would be the best way to display
Show
it
it.
because, if you move your arm, it all twists. So
Yeah,
I got
absolutely.
this almost 2 years ago. Uh, I had I was up for in Massachusetts for um my aunt's celebration of life,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple weeks before the trip, I had seen a version of this on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Well, that looks like that would be a fun tattoo to get." And my cousin says, "I'm in. Let's go get tattoos together."
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
And then my other cousin says that she's in, and my sister said she's in. So the four of us all got tattoos together.
Aw.
It happened to be the first day of Pride Month. So that
Oh,
was like a
okay.
pure coincidence.
Yeah, that worked out perfect though.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun, and they were all rainbow themed tattoos.
Very cool. I love yours. I just realized too, and I don't know why I never thought about that before, that we have our tattoos in the same spot.
Well, we don't have all our tattoos in the same spot.
Well, no, I don't have one on my butt like you do. No, I'm just kidding.
No, like I want.
Yeah, I'll let you get Xavier Roberts on your butt. I'm not doing that. Uh,
Now that I have these things the right size, I may have
although,
to.
to be honest, that's really awesome. I love that idea because I had Cabbage Patch Kids when I was little, so I remember their butt being signed.
And he's from Cleveland, Georgia.
Yep.
So that means I cut this one wrong. Oh well, I will. I think I'm going to have to sew more half square triangle pieces and
Mm.
try to catch up because I don't know where I put my seam ripper because it's not where I normally keep it. We keep it real here on Lives.
That's right.
So not only did I cut too many of these, I cut too big of these.
Oh,
So hopefully everything that I have cut will fit nicely in next month's blocks.
yeah.
Because I haven't even counted how much of everything we have to cut for next month. I guess this is one of the other reasons why we had to make sure we bought a little bit extra fabric.
Right.
And back to my quilting tattoo, there was that one booth at QuiltCon that gave you a free sticker if you had a quilting tattoo
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
last year. And I
Yeah.
was like, yes, my $300 tattoo finally pays off.
$300 for a sticker worth $1.50.
Exactly.
But no, that was fun. Actually, I was really excited for you. That was cool.
And for Tasha, if she wants to see all of the tattoos, I believe it would be early June 2 years ago, so early June of 2023. One of my weekly vlogs would have pictures of all the tattoos.
Oh, awesome.
If you're interested in hunting back that far,
Yeah. Or you could post like a new picture on Facebook or something.
I could. That
You're
would
like,
require me to go
don't,
hunt
you're
down the
like, don't
picture.
tell me things I have to do now.
I was gonna say that would require me to hunt down the picture.
Right. Sorry, I wasn't trying to give you more work.
And I can't get a new picture this year because one of my cousins is not going to be up there for the graduation because
Oh.
one cousin lives in North Carolina.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, she's not going to make it for graduation. But
Got it.
the other cousin, the one whose mom passed, lives up in Western Mass.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's more like northern Western Mass because she lives out in the middle of nowhere.
Not a bad thing.
It is when you don't have cell service and you're like, how do I get home?
Oh, yikes. Yeah. So you're saying you can't go out and like lose your mind because you never find your way home.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, after being on a ship with 8,000 people, it makes you want to come home and live like somewhere like that.
I mean, Delanago would be good enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be perfect. Hi, Colleen. Good to see you.
Speaking of, Atlanta made it in the New York Times mini crossword this morning.
Yeah.
The clue was the city that has 71 streets named Peachtree, and it's Atlanta.
Yeah. That was kind of cool because you knew that right away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I knew it was 71. So
So is it because there's one in every suburb? Do they count that too? Or is there really that many in city
it's
proper?
it's Peachtree Street, Peachtree Road, Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, Peachtree Commons, Peachtree
Wow.
Place. Um,
Avenue.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if they were able to find a way to end it with Peachtree,
Huh.
they did.
That is funny. Yeah, you saw the text you sent me on that, and I was going to ask you like how they had so many and if they were all in the city proper of Atlanta.
They are all within city proper.
Wow.
Uh, a friend of mine, when he moved here from Florida,
Hmm.
he was on the phone with his credit union saying, I'm trying to find an ATM that I can use that won't charge me fees because, ATM fees are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he was on customer support with them and they said, well, it's at such and such Peachtree. And he
Oh
goes,
no.
Peachtree what? And
Right.
they were confused. He goes, I'm currently at the corner of Peachtree and Peachtree, which, really confused his credit union people. But
Right.
yeah, I was talking with Sean this morning and said, you know, it doesn't help that where I live, everything is Powers Ferry this, Powers Ferry that. Because we got
Right.
Powers Ferry Road, Powers Ferry Street, Powers Ferry
Oh wow.
Downs, Powers Ferry Drive, Powers Ferry Plate. And I'm like,
Oh wow.
can you be a little bit more
Creative.
creative with your name?
Yeah.
I mean, we do have that one neighborhood that was a proposal. Um, and it was right near where I used to live when I first moved here. Uh, the street names, if you're traveling in the right direction, it goes Merry Christmas Jody Bramble.
Oh,
And I guess that was part of his proposal to Jody because he was part of the developer and um, planner for that neighborhood.
yeah.
And he was able to get them to name the roads like that.
Oh wow. That's interesting.
And then not far from where I live now, we have Sherwood Forest.
Oh, do you really?
There's yeah, the roads are like Robin Hood Trail and
Uh,
Sherwood
that's
Lane.
cool. Now, see, I would like that because I like anything literature-ish. We have a development in our area, not in my development, but it's all named after like Shakespeare things.
Oh,
So it's really cool. Like Macbeth Lane and Romeo Way and Shakespeare Drive. I like it.
okay. Take 7 with this.
So is that the road, that Power Speary or whatever, is that named after somebody?
Uh, I believe Mr. Powers had a actual ferry or something because there's a lot of water here. We're not far from the infamous Chattahoochee,
Okay.
uh, like that Alan Jackson song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. way down yonder in Chattahoochee is like a mile and a half away from here.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were that close to it. Wow. I saw a clip, and it might have been on Facebook or Instagram, of the special the Opry did, 100 year or whatever. I didn't see it on TV, but I guess Alan Jackson, he sang that song.
Oh,
That was kind of neat to see. Because even if you're not a country music fan, that's like everybody knows that song, right?
everybody, yeah, it's played at the Braves games
Right.
during the seventh inning stretch, I believe. It's part of the
Yeah.
seventh inning stretch here. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
he is from the area here, so
Yeah.
a pattern wants me to press these open. I don't know if I really want to, but I will. And speaking of, 6 degrees of separation,
Hmm.
country music star Lee Brice.
Hmm.
I went to high school with him.
Did you
Well,
really?
and elementary school. Like,
Oh,
yeah, we grew up in the same area.
did you like know him or?
I knew of him.
Hmm.
He won all of the talent shows at school,
Well, yeah.
obviously. Because when he first came out, I was like, he seems familiar.
Hmm.
And this was before Wikipedia was as good as it was today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he grew up in Sumter. And I'm like, but are you so I was trying to figure things out, and then later found out which school he went to,
Hmm.
because the school that I was in ended up changing. Like, my class was the last class in South Carolina out of that school.
Oh, okay.
So he's got a song called Sumter County Friday Night,
Hmm.
and he's talking about the new schools. And I'm like, but that doesn't help me with anything. It tells me that he was in my school district, but it doesn't tell me anything else.
Right.
And then yeah, like I said, it was later research and stuff. And my sister got to meet him and said, we went to school together. Like,
Uh-huh.
because he was a couple grades behind me and a couple grades ahead of her.
Okay.
So yeah, he thought that was just really cool that he got to do a meet and greet with a classmate.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, that story is only, minorly fun compared to me and Ingrid going to the same college together
Who and
for
you?
2 years.
You and Ingrid?
I went to the same college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you there at the same time?
No, I think she started the year after I graduated.
Oh,
It would have been hilarious if we started at the same time.
yeah. Oh, I think I lost Bob and Chicken.
I'm changing.
Yep,
Did you say you lost Bob and Chicken?
I did. But I didn't realize I was that low on bobbin, and I sewed that last little 9 patch, and then I ran out. So it was just starting another. So not too bad. Not like I did a whole row of something and then realized.
This weird shape is going to be the death of me. Charlotte says her neighborhood has street names like Patrick Henry, Thomas Edison, Robert Stevenson. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
Carl says that he and Ingrid went to the same boot camp in Orlando 10 years apart.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's right, because they were both Navy. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Doing a shape like this is not happy.
Oh, interesting.
And then we're putting a top and bottom on it to straighten it out. So it's not horrible.
Yeah. Glad I decided to do mindless sewing though, because I don't know if my brain can process that right now.
Yeah, I would have preferred to do this block a little differently because I probably would have just done half square triangles and squares in order to make these shape instead of
Yeah.
um, the more complicated giant triangles and
Well, and now you've got to be careful because you got some bias edges there and stuff.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's in the whole concept of if I had this to do over again,
Yeah. So one cool thing I learned on the cruise, which I'm probably the last person on the planet to know this, but I didn't know why Orlando Airport, their call or their letters are MCO, and I found that story out on the cruise.
okay, I need to know why because well, I think I probably researched it why one time, but I don't
Hmm.
remember.
So it was
I knew it was
originally,
MCO.
yes. So the reason why it's MCO, because a lot of them, like I'm here in Cleveland, right? And ours is CLE, Cleveland.
Yep. Boston
And
is BOS.
yeah, and like
And Hartford is
Chicago
BDL.
Midway,
Oh, wait.
yeah, and Chicago Midway is MDW, Midway.
Yep.
And so I was like, I always wondered why um Orlando was MCO because I was like, that really doesn't have anything to do with the word Orlando.
And
So,
the only thing I can think of is like you said, Chicago Midway, MDW is Midway. So,
right, right. And like Phoenix, right? Sky Harbor Airport, it's PHX, Phoenix.
yep.
So I was like, okay, so why is it that way? Well, somebody told this story on the cruise, and I was like, oh, that makes complete sense. So it was originally an Air Force base. And
Really?
it was where B-52s were like took off from and were stored and training and all that stuff. And the original name, and I'm going to get this wrong, but I think it was called McConnell or McConnor or something like that. And that's why it's MCO. And I was like, oh, the Air
So
Force
it
gets
so
in
do they
trouble.
call it Orlando McConnell Airport or something, or do they just say it's just
No, they just
Orlando?
call it Orlando Airport, but that's why the letter designation is MCO. And I was like, that is so interesting. I had never heard that ever. And I thought I'm probably the last person on the planet that,
Yeah, because Hartford is BDL because it's Hartford Bradley. I don't know where the
right,
Bradley came from. I don't know whether that's just the name of the guy that it's named after. Like, Atlanta is Hartsford Jackson,
right.
because it's named after them. So, but McConnell or McSomething.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up really quick because I can't think of the what the actual name was, and I don't wanna. Let's see. McCoy, that's what it was.
McCoy.
McCoy Air Force Base. I knew it was something Mc something. But yeah, so I guess like when I heard that, I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, little fun fact of the day.
And it freed ORL to be up for somewhere else.
Yep.
Okay, so I've got half of one block done.
Oh, there you go. That looks good.
And I am praying that I got it all correct. Yes, it does look correct. Okay, now if I can just figure out where I can do to try to get the other half.
So on the Royal Caribbean ships, the last day of every cruise, they do this on every single one of their cruise. They do like a little 15-minute tribute to veterans.
Uh-huh.
And they put up this huge American flag and they read a poem and have like a moment of silence and stuff. And that's where I heard this because I was standing next to some veterans who were veterans from Vietnam and they were talking about it. And I kind of overheard their conversation and I was like, that is really cool. So yeah, I had never known that.
Learning things on a cruise.
Yep. It's interesting the things that if that you overhear.
Yeah, it was there. There. I have also decided that I am going to torture my sister food-wise when I'm
Okay.
because last time I was up there, she made us eat Kool-Aid pickles.
She made you a what?
Yeah, I didn't stutter. Kool-Aid pickles,
What?
which basically you take a jar of pickles, the wonderful Vlasic pickles, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with,
Uh-huh.
and you dump out a little bit of the liquid and you put a packet of Kool-Aid in there and a little bit of sugar because you have to sweeten the Kool-Aid, so it's some stuff. And
Okay.
yeah, I was not thrilled. They were nasty.
Yeah.
So I found out the other day you could buy Vegemite on Amazon.
Oh, I don't like Vegemite at all.
I've never tried it.
Oh, it's
I,
nasty.
I fully appreciate that I probably will not like it,
Yeah.
but I'm going to make a video of her and I trying Vegemite.
Okay. Okay.
She doesn't know this yet,
Well, now she does.
but only if she listens.
That's true.
Uh, Southern Hater says when she was in high school, I'm assuming she, I apologize, but it's not. And before Disney World, the airport was one story and had six gates, and you were outside and walked across the tarmac to board your flight.
That's funny that it's changed that much.
Oh, gee, all of these pieces are the too big, and I got to figure out the right size to cut off
Ingrid
of.
says, that sounds gross, Russ, and a waste of good pickles.
It again, I said, like there's absolutely nothing wrong with Vlasics,
Yeah.
and she ruined them.
Yeah. Was it an idea she found somewhere, or did she actually like it?
She found it on TikTok,
Oh.
and we all know
Well,
what good
shoot.
TikTok is.
TikTok is telling you to eat Tide Pods.
Exactly.
Charlotte said, a great way to ruin a good dill pickle. Ew.
Yeah. And it was at her Memorial Day party, and she made everybody try it.
Ugh.
So yeah, she doesn't know it yet. And I know she's not watching this because she's in tax season.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So uh yeah, I know that she's not going to be prepared.
Just have something like some sort of drink to follow it with. That's a really strong drink that will take away flavor of something else. That's all I can recommend. In case you don't like it, because Vegemite's very strong and it'll
Yes, I
stay, ooh, that flavor will stay in your mouth for a while.
well, I know the main rule is you have to do a very, very thin layer on toast.
Yes. Yep. Like on that Melba toast, that hard toast.
It's probably going to be white bread toast after my sister's.
There you go.
And I have made way too many mistakes now that I really need to find my seam ripper and rip a whole bunch of stuff. So I think it's a good time to start wrapping up.
Sounds good.
So I have officially half of one block done.
Nice. Nice.
It's a good thing that, I have the so day tomorrow that is going to be on Zoom. It's private. Nobody's going to be able to watch it except for those of us that are in the Zoom. So
Mhm.
anybody who wants to join doesn't cost anything. The link is in the description below. So if you want to save that, anybody who's on my mailing list has gotten the link. And yeah, I'm it's a lot of fun. Stephanie has been there a few times.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we've
Lots of
enabled
fun.
things. So yeah, I'm going to be catching up on all my homework tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Stephanie, what do you have coming up this week, if anything exciting?
Well, tonight, live at 5, Russ will be on with me because he's apparently doing a YouTube marathon today, which is awesome. Keeping himself busy, which means he's staying out of trouble, I think.
Uh, yeah, it's preventing me from spending money.
And
Ooh, I
also,
bought something this week. That's
oh,
besides the point.
and also Ingrid, who's here in the chat, and a couple other, Julie and Bev, will be joining us tonight for Dragon Fruit Block of the Month. Um, Between Bumbleberry Pie and Dragon Fruit, those are probably the two that I've until this month have kept up with. So, like Russ said earlier, it's really nice to sew with friends because it keeps you accountable and keeps you going. So, so that's tonight, and then I don't have any plans right now for the next week to have any videos until next Saturday, but I'm going to try to get one in there, but I'm not going to promise anything because I am getting ready for my Ohio retreat. So
Ah, yes.
that is coming up very quickly, and I'm leaving here at April 3rd. So I really only have, what, a week and a half?
That sounds
So,
right.
yeah. So I've had a lot going on with traveling, and then I've got some other traveling I've got to do in April and May and June and then August. So much going on, but life happens, and so I've been a little bit absent on YouTube, but I'm excited to get back because I really have missed all of you, and of course my friends like Russ and Steven and Ingrid, and I feel like I haven't talked to anybody in weeks, so yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, we have missed you a little bit, but
Yeah, I missed you guys
we
too.
we knew that you were off having fun, so that was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So
So
thank you.
yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys this afternoon on Stephanie's channel, tomorrow on the So Day if you can make it. And yeah, Wednesday my weekly vlog will be coming up, and we will hopefully figure out what I'm doing next week for my live. So hope
Yeah.
you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Toodles.